Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Another video today. Today we're working on the 99 wide glide again. We're going to be doing bars. As I've said in other videos, I don't like the looks of these drag bars, T-bar, whatever you want to call it. So I'm going to get this off of here. We're going with a little bit of an old school look to it. You'll see the bars here in a few minutes. To get started, we need to get the wiring unhooked that goes to the bars. To do that, we're going to have to take the gas tank off, it looks like, because the wires run underneath the gas tank. So I'm going to take the seat off, the gas tank loose, slide the gas tank back, which hopefully will open up the wiring to where I can get to the plugs. I don't know if it's got butt connectors putting it together, if it's got actual plugs. We'll see when we get in there. We'll also have to take the grips and the controls off, and then there's just two bolts that hold the bars to the triple trees. So it shouldn't be too hard. We're going to get started and see how it goes. All right, making a little bit of progress. This is honestly a lot more difficult of a process than I thought it was going to be. There's no connector down here for the wiring. If there is, it's way back here in the frame, and I just can't get to it. These wires won't pull out of the frame or anything. So what I ended up doing is just cutting the wires from the controls. So I'm going to have to rewire that. Shouldn't be a big deal. Got the bars the rest of the way off. All that went pretty smooth. I wanted to drain the gas out of the gas tank and take it off completely because, as I've said in other videos, I'm going to be doing some paint work, and I figured as long as I've got it this close, I might as well go ahead and take it the rest of the way off to do the paint. But the gas line back here, you can't just turn the valve on and have gas flow out of this to drain the tank. It's got a vacuum safety kind of apparatus on it where when the engine's running, it makes vacuum. It pulls a little safety valve open in the fuel valve there and lets fuel flow through this line. The idea being, if you wreck and the engine shuts off, vacuum stops, fuel flow stops, and you're not running gas out on, potentially the exhaust or a fire or whatever you got going on at that point. So that's where we're at with this. I'm getting ready to set the new bars on here and kind of see what they look like and keep hacking along on it. Okay, so I've got the new bars mounted. I'm going to take it down off the lift. That way I can turn the wheel and see what kind of clearance I've got in here. Or, does this come too close to the tank when it turns or whatever? Just something I want to check out before I get real far back putting everything together, wired up and all that kind of good stuff. But that's what we're looking at so far. Whoa, just about fell down. But I like the look of it a lot better than I did the T-bar that was on there. So get her down off the lift and see what kind of clearance we got. All right, so the answer to that question is we have plenty of clearance. No issues around the dashboard there. No issues with the end of the bars hitting the tank. So I don't know. I think I like them more than the T-bars. I know I like them more than the T-bars. So what are your thoughts on these? It'll look different, of course, once we get the speedometer put back in it and all the controls put back on. But so far, I think I like it a lot more than the T-bars. All right, so took the bars back off. I also replaced the riser bushings here while I had it apart. Real easy. You just press out this center steel tube spacer here with I used a hammer and a chisel on the old one just to tap it a little bit, and it come right out. The new ones just slide together. There's a two-piece bushing on each side. So simple. You always want to do that while you've got the bars off. They're cheap, and it's just a good thing to do while you got the bars apart. There's no reason to leave the old ones in there. So we'll get the bars back on it again and start putting everything back together. Making progress. Got the controls back on. Got the wiring started. I've got to go down here and splice these back together. Shouldn't be that big of a deal, but that's what I got to do. I wish I would have left a little more length on that one, a little less on this one maybe, but we'll make it. Ain't going to be a problem. So got to do that. Got the bars mounted, got the bushings changed, of course. You saw that a minute ago. Got all the controls on, everything, the throttle and everything adjusted back again. So it's just a matter of putting this wiring back together, putting the headlight back in, and Then I got to decide what I'm going to do with the gas tank and stuff, because like I said, I'm planning on painting it. So I'm going to go, I think I'm going to go ahead and take that off. Might as well. Already got it unbolted and everything. Just got to take the crossover line, gas line up here off, and get the gas out of it, and it'll be ready to start working on the paint work. So this project's coming along. It started off kind of bad. Like I said earlier, it's quite a bit bigger of a pain than I expected it to be. If these would have had connectors on them where we could have just unplugged, they would have been a lot easier, but that's not the way it went. So we got to work with what we got. Halfway done with the wiring. Everything's going smooth. You really can't mess this up. All the wires are colored. They're either solid or they're a color with a different color stripe on it. So you just match up, what you're looking for. I'll show you this one here just for example. That wire is a solid gray. This red one here has got a yellow tracer is what that's called. The stripe is called a tracer. White with a black tracer, orange with a white tracer. So you just match those up with the colors coming out of the harness here, and that's that. All right, so the bar job is all done. What do you think of it? Like I said earlier, I really like it a lot better than the T-bar that was on it. These are kind of old school looking. I'm going to take these foot pegs off and put floorboards on it. Leave the forward controls like they are, but just put a floorboard instead of that peg that sticks out. So it'll have more of an old school look, I think. I've still got the wiring harness hanging down here that goes up under the dash because, like I said earlier, paint work, I'm getting ready to take the tank off of it. Those ends bolting all that stuff back down just to take it off again. So, but yeah, I really like the way these Buckhorn bars turned out. As I said earlier in the video, the job started off a little rocky, but everything was stuck in those T-bars for some reason. The bolts came out hard, all the way to the last thread. The grips were hard to get off. So, but once we got it all apart, everything went back together really smooth. Kind of anxious to ride it with these T-bars. I may bolt the tank back down and go for a little ride tomorrow just to see how they are. But yeah, all in all, the job went pretty well. Well, if you've stuck with me this long, thank you very much. I really appreciate you watching. Please check out the other videos on the channel. Consider subscribing. Leave a like and a comment on videos that you really enjoyed. That'll help us with the algorithm. I know you hear that from everybody, but it's true. It helps us get put in front of more viewers, and somebody else might watch our videos and like them, and we just grow from there. So if you do that, I'd really appreciate it. Some more stuff to do on the Dyna, paint work, floorboards, a couple other little knickknacks like this shift rod right here. Planning on changing that out to something a little more chrome. Got more projects coming up, so keep an eye on the channel, and we'll be back soon. Thank you very much for watching. Have a great day.